when you're pressure canning hamburger meat, you want to get it to about looking like this. See all the pink in it? That's fine, because when it's in the pressure canner will finish cooking it. I also seasoned this batch of hamburger meat. This is 6 pounds. I put seasoned salt, black pepper, and onion powder in it. That's what I normally season with when I cook hamburger meat. So I just went ahead and put the seasoning in it before I pressure canned it, and that way when I open up a jar from the pantry, then it'll already be seasoned, and I can adjust, to taste. Okay, and you want to make sure that you debubble it. I don't know where I got this little thing from, but I love it. You just poke it all around, make sure you get all the bubbles out. And see, it goes from sticking up to when you debubble it, it all gets down and under there. Now, I have my rings and tips in just some warm water waiting to go in the jars. I've got me a rag paper towel with vinegar on it, and you just want to wipe the rim. The vinegar helps cut down all of the grease and cleans the rim, so that way you will get a better seal. Now, when you're putting your rings and tips on, you want to always just do finger tight. So that means that you just take your fingers, twist it, well, if I can get it on there, twist it around and keep on tightening it down. But don't do this. You want to just do this. Okay, everything's in the canner. Cold water, a splash of vinegar, and the water comes up to about right there on the jars. So you want, depending on your pressure canner, what brand you have, mine calls for 3 quarts. So I've got my 3 quarts of water in there. I'm going to turn the heat on, probably medium. I'm going to put the lid on, turn the heat on, probably medium. Let it slowly all come up to temperature and build pressure. And then it'll start venting, and you let it vent for 10 minutes. And then you put your weight on there, and you just give it a little while, and it'll start jiggling. Okay, see right there where it's starting to build pressure. It's steaming a little bit. When that thing right there, I got my carrot peeler in my hand. When that thing right there pops up, then steam will come hard and steady out of that. When that happens, you want it to do for 10 minutes. So set your timer. I'll show you what it looks like. Build in more steam. Just give it time. Canning takes a lot of patience. Okay, our valve has popped up. Steam is coming out steady. It's still got a few little breaks in it. You hear it building. When it starts blowing steam out, then you set your timer. It'll be hard and steady. Okay, so we have vented for 10 minutes. We're just going to take our weight with 10 pounds of pressure. We're going to put it on. And that's all there is to it. Now we just adjust the heat necessary. You want it to start jiggling. Once you've done it several times, you'll get the feel of how your pressure canner does and what it's supposed to be like. You don't want it to be shaking too fast, because then all your water will evaporate out of it. I guess evaporate's the right word. And it'll ruin your canner. So you just want it to do a slow shimmy. That way it's still at pressure, it's still moving, things are rocking and rolling, and it's keeping it at the heat that it's supposed to be at to safely can whatever you're pressure canning. Okay, everything's rocking and rolling. Once you put your weight on and it starts jiggling, then you want to adjust your temperature, your eye on your burner. I know on my stove about where my knob is supposed to be to make it jiggle like it's supposed to. You see it has pressure. The valve is still up. It's still jiggling. It's a slow and steady jiggle. So all is good. So once it gets to this, you've adjusted your temperature. It's steady doing that right there. Then you want to set your timer for however long you're supposed to process what you're canning for. Easy peasy. Okay, so our timer has went up. I turned the heat off. You can see that we still got pressure in there. You want to wait for that to release naturally. It'll take some time. I don't know how long, but anyway, you just have to be patient with it. That will fall down. And then you can safely remove your jiggler. Wait 5 minutes. Then you can take the lid off. Make sure that you open the lid, tilt it away from you, so that way that you don't get a steam burn. And then you can use your little prong things to set your jars out on the counter to cool and seal. Okay, so our valve has failed. We can take our jiggler off safely, and now we can just undo the lid, open it up, tilt it this way so the steam goes out that way and not onto us. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out. Alright, see, we still got water in there. They're bubbling. They look good. All of this can be cleaned up after they cool for 24 hours. Then I'll put them in some warm, soapy water and wash them and rinse them off after I take the rings off of them. And then I let them dry before I store them in the pantry.